Well, hello, friends and kin. I hope you're well. I sincerely apologize for missing last week. I I tend to overwhelm myself this time of year, as I feel a lot of people do, and it is that time of year where all of our free time is spoken for in regards to various parties, whether they're work related, family related, or just friends. And I think we owe it to ourselves to enjoy those things. So a lot of times that will upset our regular routines and habits, and that was the situation I found myself in last week. But I sincerely hope you've been well, and I look forward to diving back into our reading of Anamkara. We've here in the Carolinas, we've gotten a little bit, or at least the part I live in, we've gotten a little bit of a reprieve from the winter cold, and such is the winter here. We can actually get pretty chilly, but then there will be these breaks where we'll get a little bit of a warm front come through, and that's what we're having today. Today is actually supposed to be beautiful, and I intend to hang outside and enjoy it. And today I actually trying a new cigar. This is from a company called Foundation. It's called the Wise Man. Not really. Uh, I don't really think of myself as much of a wise man, but I will definitely enjoy the smoke. But so where we left off, this next section we're about to start is called "Love is the Nature of the Soul." The soul needs love as urgently as the body needs air. In the warmth of love, the soul can be itself. All the possibilities of your human destiny are asleep in your soul. You are here to realize and honor these possibilities. When love comes into your life, unrecognized dimensions of your destiny awaken and blossom and grow. Possibility is the secret heart of time. On its outer surface, time is vulnerable to transience. Regardless of its sadness or beauty, each day empties and vanishes. In its deeper heart, time is transfiguration. Time mines possibility and makes sure that nothing is lost or forgotten. That which seems to pass away on the surface of time is in fact transfigured and housed in the tabernacle of memory. Possibility is the secret heart of creativity. Martin Heidegger speaks about the ontological priority of possibility. At the deepest level of being, possibility is both mother and transfigured destination of what we call events and fact. This quiet and secret world of the eternal is the soul. Love is the nature of the soul. When we love and allow ourselves to be loved, we begin more and more to inhabit the kingdom of the eternal. Fear changes to courage, emptiness becomes plenitude, and distance becomes intimacy. I like the way Mr. O'Donohue uses the word love and his understanding of it and the meaning of it that he tries to convey. Because he's not talking about uh, getting lost in whimsical fantasy. He's not talking about daydreaming of rainbows and unicorns. He's talking about courage. To him, and the type of love he is talking about, this is the courage of opening oneself to be vulnerable, to connecting to forces and ideas and intelligences and souls outside of yourself. And that is a very scary thing. And a lot of these things he's talking about, fear changes into courage, emptiness becomes plenitude, and distance becomes intimacy. These are boundaries that we create because we're afraid of getting hurt, or we're afraid of being wrong, or we're afraid of being made a fool of and being embarrassed, whatever it is. That's why so many of us live in states of fear, emptiness, and isolation. And we suffer from this deep, deep, heartfelt loneliness because we allow those things to create borders around us. And real love is the act of dropping those borders, allowing yourself to simultaneously see and be seen. And these ideas are not just applicable in the realm of our interpersonal relationships with other humans, but they are also applicable in the realm of bonding with the spirit world. Whether it's the people buried in this plot I'm sitting in, or the oak tree that grows at the entrance to the plot, which would be this fellow right here. The type of love and the type of connection Mr. O'Donohue discusses is applicable across the spectrum. Let's see. He gives us a little bit more on those notions I just went on my derailing commentary about. Let's see what he has to say. The Anamkara experience opens a friendship that is not wounded or limited by separation or distance. Such friendship can remain alive even when the friends live far away from each other because they have broken through the barriers of persona and egoism that I was just talking about, those barriers we create based on fear and emptiness and isolation. Because they have broken through the barriers of persona and egoism to the soul level. These barriers are all based on ego. They are all based on because ultimately that's what fear I think is rooted in is the ego. The idea that we're not infallible, that we're not a badass, that we're going to be laughed at or hurt. It's all very ego driven. The unity of their souls is not easily severed. When the soul is awakened, physical space is transfigured. Even across the distance, two friends can stay attuned to each other and continue to sense the flow of each other's lives. I can't tell you, thanks to the internet and social media, how many times I've actually experienced that. And I think more people now have the opportunity to connect with people all across the world and develop these types of connections that are powerful regardless of distance. With your Anamkara, you can awaken the eternal. In this soul space, there is no distance. This is beautifully illustrated during the meal in the film Babette's Feast, where an old soldier speaks to the woman he loved from youth but was not allowed to marry. He tells her that even though he hadn't seen her since, she had been always at his side. Love is our deepest nature, and consciously or unconsciously, each of us searches for love. I want to comment on that because even some of the most shallow, superficial people I have encountered in my life, they still want adoration. They want, and they've replaced substantial connection and substantial uh, relationships with superficial ones, but at their core, they're still craving this idea of being adored. So it's interesting, even though it may change manifestation type, That statement rings true across the board, from the most selfless and virtuous people to the most depraved. They just want to be adored. They want some kind of connection. It's just some people in their descent into egoism lose touch with how to express it. We often choose such false ways to satisfy this deep hunger. An excessive concentration on our work, achievements, or spiritual quest can actually lead us away from the presence of love. Imagine that, being so consumed with the quest for spiritual knowledge and attainment that you miss the whole point of connecting with people right here in the material world. No, I'm not guilty of that at all. I swear. In the work of soul, our false urgency can utterly mislead us. We do not need to go out to find love. Rather, we need to be still and let love discover us. Some of the most beautiful writing on love is in the Bible. I'd kind of argue that point, but I'll roll with it. Go ahead, Johnny. Lay it on me. Paul's letter to the Corinthians is absolutely beautiful. There he writes, "Love is always patient and kind. Love is never boastful or conceited. It is never rude or selfish. It does not take offense and is not resentful. Love is always ready to excuse, to trust, to hope, and to endure whatever comes." Elsewhere, the Bible says, "Perfect love casts out all fear." Now, if only more churchgoers would read parts of the Bible like that, because perfect love really does cast out all fear. Once you've accepted, once you've opened yourself up and accepted the deeper connection that real love can lead to, it does eliminate fear, and it creates a more powerful form of trust. And to me personally, that's how I define faith. It is that deeper level, that more potent evolution of trust, formed by opening yourself up, letting yourself love, and then being shown time and time and again the validation that that love and that trust is well founded. And I think that builds the foundation. It should build the foundation of our human relationships, but it most definitely should always be the foundation of our spiritual ones. Faith, uh, a lot of our Abrahamic uh, family, fellow humans, like to think they have a monopoly on faith, but they're incorrect on that. I think faith is a very old concept and spread out amongst many other traditions and cultures. But I think the way it's understood is slightly different. And that depends on the experience of the person using the word. But for me, that's what faith is. Faith is that act of opening up a pathway to love and connection, allowing yourself to trust, and allowing the power or the person on the other end to trust you. And over time, as that trust proves itself to be well founded, that's where faith is born. And with that, friends and kin, I'm going to wish you a happy holiday season, whatever it is you celebrate this time of year. Even if you don't celebrate anything this time of year, I hope the spirit of the season is good to you and blesses you. For myself, tonight I plan on observing a simple Yule ritual as part of an ongoing observation of Mother Night, which for me began last night, and on through the 12 nights of the Yuletide. This time of year, I'll derail and focus on that for the rest of Sundee Service today. This time of year has mixed feelings for me, as I'm sure it does for many. This time of year is where I find some of my fondest childhood memories. I had a very tight knit family when I was young, and that centered a lot around my mother's parents and my mother's siblings. And I was very close to my mother's parents. But we would always go to their house on Christmas Eve and do a dinner and have all kinds of baked goodies, and then of course presents and stockings and the whole 9 yards. And that house, that room, those times were full of a lot of magic. And I'm not talking about the kind you do over pentagram patterns with daggers and incantations. I'm talking about the type of magic born of people delighting and bringing one another joy. And that's arguably to me a more potent form of magic. However, over time, I lost several people I've loved. My mother's parents are both gone now.